I'm tired. Boy, the show must go on. Here we go. 223. Do the damn thing. Let's do the damn thing. Here we go. Demons dwell in the story's horizon. They're neither demon kings nor a part of the demonic species, but they're still called demons nonetheless. They crave stories as much as the Dokubi, and despise the Dokubi as much as they crave stories. If you've been expelled from a scenario, this is the only thing you can count on. The mercy of the horizon's demons. Oh, okay. How strange. Even with the archdemon's eyeball, I can't see your information. Not even prophets can see my information. You seem behind on the times for a Wenny man. Did you know I would come here? I did. What is a Wenny man? What is that? Flinched at that, at the notion of Doksha knowing. I bet you're here for this. What is it? That soul is mine. A version of me in a parallel dimension sent that here. That soul belongs to me. A version of me in a parallel dimension sent that here. What? I don't know what you're talking about. I was wondering where the soul meant to return to the underworld had gone. But you sung. I'm like, what? You sung. I was wondering where the soul meant to return to the underworld had gone. But I see you got your hands on it. I ask that you return that soul before it's too late. Return? What do you mean? Does the Starstream have some sort of lost and found? Art is crazy. This egg contains Yusung Shin from Zhongyak's 41st round. Beast Lord. So in a sense, this guy is right. The one who transformed Yusung and brought her to this dimension is none other than this Wenny man. If you want to play games, let's ask her directly. She has free will too. Yusung, he says. Yusung. He says he's your owner, but what do you think? I see. He's not your owner? See here? Then who do you belong to? That's right. Souls can't belong to anyone. In the same way that no one can possess a story. How amusing, Demon King of Salvation. Are you trying to strike a bargain with me? I am. It's a bargaining man. Your achievements have garnered much attention even here. However, if you want to deal, hand over that egg first. Do you not understand how bargains work? I'm afraid I can't do that. I need her. You have no idea of the value that egg holds. Yes, I do. The beings to be born from this egg can create a channel. Do you understand the significance of that? It means a Starstream can be transmitted without the management center's authority. Interesting. Very interesting. Pretty sure Wendyman is a play on words because the word "wen" means a large lump on the body. And when we're talking, yeah, he does. Okay, interesting. Thus, this egg carries the possibility to produce countless stories. Isn't that why you want this egg as well? So do you plan to betray Starstream? Betray them? I don't know. Can you say that the management center is the entirety of Starstream, of the Starstream? Sometimes one part is the same as the whole. That doesn't seem like something a Winnie man would say. But fine, if that's the answer you're looking for. I'm going to destroy the world of the damned Dokkaebi. I don't even know what that means, but it sounds crazy. Going to destroy the world of the damned Dokkaebi. What does that mean? Oh, I like you. What does that mean? I'm gonna destroy the world of the damned Dokkaebi. Stories Horizon, Part 3, Chapter 36. Like, my brain is like going on two different paths. Where am I to take that as destroying the establishment that the Dokkaebis have set up and their governing of the Starstream and how they monitor it, or is it to mean that Doksha is just going to bring down everything? I'm leaning more towards the first one, but the second one would be crazy. Okay. The Winnie Men. Active where the Dokkaebi channels does act where oh my gosh. The Winnie Men. Active where the Dokkaebi's channel doesn't reach. Play a role similar to the black market operators of Starstream. I hate that we got rid of the Starstream, but whatever. So you have two requests. First, you wish to return to a scenario. And second, you want to obtain a new physical incarnation. For a price, they return exiles to scenarios. And even provide unique objects that can't be acquired in a channel. Of course, the price they ask is extremely steep. I can help with both matters. In return, you must give me the egg. I can't. Then I cannot help you. I'm wondering, is this a grammar thing? Where it says first you wish to return to a scenario. Does this mean that Doksha just gets dumped back where like he left off? So it's just like, oh, we're here, he just gets dumped off and he gets to continue? Or can he pick where he wants to go? Like, let's say he gives Winnie man the egg. And he does grant these two wishes. Gives him his physical incarnation back. And does Doksha get to pick where he wants to go? Because if that's the case, that's crazy. Let me continue. Damn. He seems completely sold on the Dokkaebi egg. I told you I can't give you the egg. Even if it did return to you, you'd be unable to use it. It only listens to me. Don't tell me. You fed it your stories? Exactly. Mixing Dokkaebi and stories. How foul. That's enough. I'll give you something instead of the egg. Story list. The king of the this was in my brain. The king of the world without a king, the one who fought against the miracle, the one who scorned a storyteller, the one who hunted the king of catastrophes, the one who killed an otherworld god, the demon king of salvation. My allied forces, insect massacre. ... stories. Isn't that the only thing your kind receives anyways? I expected them to be amazing, but they truly are outstanding. To think you have 6 stories that are at least legendary. Look at him. He's looking through them like, ooh. It looks like you have enough here instead of the egg. Must I choose just one? For now. Then I'll take this one. The one who killed an otherworld god. Don't you think you're being too greedy? That's my only semi-mythical story. In that case, this one's not bad. The king of the world without a king. That's my birth story. Doksha's gonna have an excuse for every story. Unless he's gonna have an excuse for every story besides the story he wants to give this guy. Or he has an excuse for everyone. That's my birth story. You think I can give that away? I see. Then what about the Demon King of Salvation? That might demote me. That's how I formally became a constellation. Would you give it up if you were me? Then I'll make do with this. The one who fought against the miracle. Sorry, I have need for that later. Then what story are you willing to part with? I can give you Silatang Allied Forces. I don't even want that for free. How about this? Insect Genocide. Better than the other one, but it's been done before. I'll give you both. And if you need it, I can give you other historical grade stories. Shall I take this as you refusing to make a... shall I take this as you refusing to make a trade? Pissing him off. As expected, he's not easy to bargain with. Darn. The world isn't only made up of pushovers like B Young. I'm not sure how you've managed to maintain your existence until now, but I'm sure you don't have much time left. Your physical incarnation is falling apart. Stupid Doksha Kim began to wonder what story he should give him. I'm frustrated enough already, so don't bother me. Just then, a story jumped out at Doksha. What are you even listening, boy? Huh? How about this one? What story is it? This story. It was a legendary story that had no special skills. However, just the fact that the story existed was enough to pique the Winnie Man's interest. What story is it? Pow, smack, slam. What story is it? He's laughing at him. Which one is it? So, how do you like it? Oh, it's the one where he... Okay. All right. Yeah, this is perfect. Fine. I'll accept this. The one who scorned a storyteller. What a delightful story. Of course he's going to like that, right? Of course. The Wendy men they hate the Dokubi. So the fact that Doksha has a story where he gets to beat the hell out of a Dokubi, that would be perfect. I gotta grab this. Of course. Grab this really quick. All right. So you have 2 requests. First, you wish to return to a scenario. Second, you want to obtain a new physical incarnation. What? I didn't read out loud. I wasn't reading out loud. The story you offered may be quite rare, but practically contains no skills. It falls a bit short of the price mark. For this story, I can only assist in granting you a physical incarnation. Yes, he traded the one who scorned a storyteller when he beat up Paul. What? Why can't I return to a scenario? Isn't this usually enough for such a request? I'll give you Silatang allied forces too. I don't need it. The situation's somewhat special at the moment. Because of what you did, the Korean Peninsula's management center and nebulae are on edge. Currently, nearly all the routes returning to a scenario on Earth are blocked off. Even with greater payment, it would be impossible. So you were going to swindle me if I was going to be dumb enough to give you the egg and then tell me this anyways. I'm glad I'm giving you this. I have to return to the scenario no matter what. It's more important than a physical incarnation. That's a problem. It doesn't have to be Earth. Can I participate in any other scenario? He's picking where he wants to go. I did find a few places, but that'll be even more difficult. Moving to an escape scenario requires a greater probability. There's really no way? It's a much rarer story than you think. What incarnation in the universe could obtain a story about beating up a Dokkaebi? Just think of how you could put this in your Wen and show it off to your friends. According to TWSA, the Wens of the Wenny-men are able to contain stories in them. There is one place that you could go to. Where are we going? The demonic realm. Why? The demonic realm. What's that? The 73rd demonic realm. It's a place without a reigning demon king. It's also long been a place where scenario stragglers gathered. Are you really returning me to a scenario? Is Doksha still the 73rd demon king? Like, is he still that, or was that stripped from him and he is now the demon king of salvation? So he's technically not, or is he still the 73rd demon king? I don't know how that works. He has a story, so okay, so he's still the 73rd demon king. So this is his domain, technically. Are you really returning me to a scenario? That would be impossible. We're merely moving you to the 73rd demonic realm. However, I'll give you a little tip. It would take considerable luck and effort, but depending on how you use this I don't like that it's glowing. I'm sorry. It would take considerable luck and effort, but depending on how you use this information, you could obtain a physical incarnation and return to a scenario. I thought you were supposed to give us our physical incarnation. Why do I feel like I got the short end of the stick here? That looks crazy. It's all red and dank. Looks like a demon realm. Enter quickly. It won't last nearly as long as a portal. Put the egg away, boy. Put the egg away. Your incarnation is being sent to a new time and space. The star stream glimpses your existence. Uh-oh. The star stream turns a blind eye to your... Okay. The star stream turns a blind eye to your existence. That was going to be bad. All right, we're in. You have reached an area adjacent to a scenario. It's interesting. I thought that when we got this notification here, I thought like the star stream glimpses your existence. I thought it might have been like a trickle down where it's like because it's seen them, then other people might pick up on the fact that it happened. But seemingly the star stream is like, you know what? Whatever. Like, won't even pay attention. Okay. Okay. All right. Interesting development. Going to a demon realm. He's still supposed to give us a body. That's the thing. I don't know. I don't know if Doksha wasn't thinking, but he gave him the one who scorned the storyteller. And homie said, I can't send you back to the scenarios, but I can give you your body. And then Doksha was like, damn, like, granted, like, getting my body back would be nice, but that wouldn't do me a bit of good. I need to go back to the scenarios. Dude dropped the fact that he could just give him his body back. All right. All right. We got chapters to read, boys. Here we go. Let me update this. Keep going. Here we go. The Starstream glimpses your existence. It turns the body out. Don't you just love it when a scammer gets scammed? Swindled. Straight swindled. You have reached an area adjacent to a scenario. Your existence is falling apart. Your story is being damaged. Oh, goodness. You need a new physical incarnation. Your birth story is leaking out. Oh, gosh. Oh, goodness. Clean yourself up. If birth story is leaking out. If I don't hurry up and find a physical incarnation and seal these wounds, where am I? You must have arrived at the scenario's horizon of the 73rd demonic realm by now. The scenario's horizon. It is a place littered with waste thrown out of scenarios by the cleaners, where those expelled from a scenario and like me end up. So this is what is the place from Loki? What's it called? Where Eliath is? The Void? Is that what it's called? Is it called the Void? That's where this place is. Everything that gets pruned from all the timelines get dumped here. All right. It is a place littered with waste thrown out of scenarios by the cleaners, where those expelled from a scenario like me end up. Wait a minute. This is just a landfill. You should be able to obtain a physical incarnation there somehow. Of course, that's only if you can get components worth using. But how you go about acquiring them is none of our business. May the horizon bless you. Wait! That's so vague. And soon after, Doksha Kim's expression began to shift. His eyes, which darted about in a panic, regained their composure, and his mouth, which hung open in disbelief, closed silently. And afterward, straightening out his clothes, Doksha mumbled to himself, "This is rough. The Wenny man's gone then. Doksha is bad at acting. He was acting like he was stressed. Wow. Okay. He was acting like he was stressed out. Okay. Yeah, he was acting like he was panicking. Shut up. He needs to conceal the fact that coming to this place had been his true goal all along. He had to act that way to hide what he knew about this place and what he wanted. And get what he wanted. I'm struggling. Interesting boy. I don't like not being in the loop. Fill me in next time. I had to do it to avoid making the Winnie Man suspicious. This seems like the right place. Your birth story is falling apart. This hurts. I better get an incarnation fast, or else. Jungyak used 111th round. The place Jungyak came to in order to regain his power after being expelled from the scenario. This ding dong got expelled from the scenario in a round? This ding, how? The 73rd demonic realm scenario's horizon. Jungyak found his new body in that dumping ground. I don't see a story that would make a good physical incarnation. Activate attribute effect. That's a giraffe. The effect of the attribute Lamarck's giraffe has been activated. The evolutionary attribute he purchased for 300,000 coins from Bihyung. Am I saying that right? Lamarck's? Lamarck's? I'm going to Google this. Sounds right. I don't even know what it is. Lamarck. Lamarck's giraffe. Oh, I'm stupid. Oh, it's evolution thing. My brain. Okay. Barry. The attribute's effect is to absorb destroyed stories and restructure a body. He bought that? What kind of skill is this? The effect's search for evolutionary factors will now begin. Searching for story fragments to absorb. Yeah, I looked it up and I'm like, oh, it just pew pew. That looks like an arm. Is he just finding? Okay, looking for story fragments to absorb. Story fragments have been detected. Good, I can see some parts worth using. Maybe I'll start with this. He's finding body parts scattered all over the place. This is crazy. Huan Zhang, open up. We'd like to interview you. What the hell? It's been so long since I've had a bed and a soft blanket all to myself. But how can I get any rest like this? It's been 1 week since we escaped the Soul Dome. A lot has happened since then. What the hell? With the help of the provisional government, we received residences in Gyeonggi. Then we were called in to answer some questions. What happened in the Soul Dome? Are the rumors online true? We want to know how many others like you are out there holding the same belief, and just what these constellations and scenarios all are. At first, I answered as sincerely as possible. I keep asking the same things. But as time went on, everything got more annoying. The few National Assembly and the City Council members who luckily survived and made the provisional government couldn't understand the situation at all, and firmly believed that it would still be relevant to face the scenarios as a nation moving forward. There was only one thing I could tell them when they were clinging onto their outdated beliefs in this new era. I would understand why they would want to do this, but hell no. There was only one thing I could tell them when they were clinging onto their outdated beliefs in this new era. All of you should change your shoes and undo your neckties. They're not the best attire for running away. Huan, good morning. Hi, Jie. Where's Sangha? Knock first. She shut up in her room with the kids. I think they're really shocked about Doksha being gone. Some type of normalcy feels weird in this series. I'm not gonna lie to you. It'd be nice if there was at least some kind of manual, like the army, like that army man said. Have you heard anything from Hyung Sung? He was called in by the military on the first day, and I haven't heard anything since. What a fool. I wouldn't have gone if it were me. Who needs the military in a world like this? Hyung Sung's gone back to the military. Just like how the kids are shut up in their room. The next scenario will begin in 3 days. It'll be hell once more in 3 days. But we're not limited to the Soul Dome. I would be so worried about what's gonna happen, because we were trapped in the Soul Dome, and all of these scenarios happened. And we went through all of these different things, but it was an isolated area. And now we're not in the Soul Dome. And all of a sudden the scenarios are just gonna kick off in the world now? That I'm just assuming. Like, the next scenario is just gonna start. We're not gonna get teleported anywhere. We're not gonna go to like another place. Stuff's just gonna start popping off just in the world, all over the world, because I would assume every place where there was a dome, the surrounding areas, everything is gonna be right. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be absolutely crazy. And then it's just like you had to deal with like cliques, you had to deal with alliances, you had to deal with the scenarios itself, all of these different things happening. But just being out in the world, you have to deal with civilians, you have to deal with the government. So you could be in the middle of a scenario, and who knows, the government could just do something stupid and mess everything up. Who knows? I have no idea. I'm trying to think of like the worst things that could happen because things are not in the controlled environment anymore. It'll be, and I'm just assuming, just making assumptions, it'll be hell once more in 3 days. And it's likely to be something completely different from what we've gone through so far. You can now respond to the summons of supporting constellations, and you can receive individual trials from them. Individual trials are treated as hidden scenarios, but when they overlap with particular main scenarios, they can replace the main scenario. Replacing the scenario is only possible until the start of the 25th main scenario, so 15 more. The master said nothing major is going to happen for a while, so you can relax. What happened to Zhengyak? He wandered off somewhere muttering Doksha Kim, Doksha Kim. I guess it makes sense considering he always said he wanted to kill him. So unbefitting of him. What about Su Young? She left this morning saying she had to talk to government officials. She also said something about it being time to harvest the seeds she'd sown. Officials? There's no use expecting help from them. If anything ever happens to me, be sure to stick with Su Young Han. I forgot that Doksha had said that. You're leaving? I can't just sit around here forever. We've got to prepare. Then I'm coming with you. Alright. He's saying, to be fair, Seoul is like the main population center in South Korea. So I doubt it will be that crazy in other cities. Now places like the US, UK, Brazil, etc., that would be chaotic. Yeah. It's gonna be crazy. Huh? Miss Hyun, I'm a reporter. Can you give us a statement? Can you tell us exactly what happened there? We heard that knowing Kendo helped you. Is that true? Look at her eyes. Oh my gosh. Yang Qian's hero. We welcome your safe return, Judge of Evil, Hyun Zhang. That's such a weird poster to see. A banner to see. That's so weird. Hero? Me? Oh, they're intense. How pathetic. You really want to know what happened there? I'm not the hero you all think I am. I wasn't a candidate for the national team, nor was I even that good at Kendo. Before the apocalypse, I was just a bartender at a cheap bar. Constellation Bald Army General gazes at you with a sad expression. Do you know who Doksha Kim is? Constellation Bald Army General is reminded of someone by your utterance. Who is that? I think I remember the name from your testimony. Doksha Kim. The survivors didn't make it out alive all on their own. What do you mean? The name Doksha Kim wasn't on the list of survivors. Why didn't he return alive? Where is he now? That's right. You wouldn't have a clue. You're just interested in those of us who lived, finding it entertaining to hear the stories of hearsay. I'm certain it doesn't matter though. If there is one thing that I wish for, I am certain he'll be back no matter what. Okay. This dynamic of life after the initial Soul Dome, going back to the real world, this is an aspect I genuinely did not see. I didn't even expect it, if I'm being honest. It's something that I didn't even think would be a thing, of them getting out of the Soul Dome, going back into the normal world, and then having everyone question them. Some people would hail them as heroes. We haven't gotten to see people that would talk down on them. You would have the government doing its government things, because this is something that was unforeseen. A lot of times in my brain, I'm the government has ideas of anything that might happen. Something, I feel like there's very rarely does a huge world event happen and nobody had no clue. Someone at least had some clue. But it feels like these scenarios and the Starstream and all this stuff is unforeseen for this entire planet. No one's seen this coming, so nobody has a contingency or knows what to do or how to react. No one has a clue. Even the individuals inside of the Soul Dome and all the other domes around the world, they barely have information on what's happening. So it's just this weird environment of just the world reacting. And it's like the survivors having to put up with it. I do think it's interesting that the government would just let these individuals be free. I don't know. My brain would be like, they'll never be free. The government would keep them locked up. Well, it's a soul. Who knows what's happening in other countries? All right, let me continue. I think it's our last chapter. And then we'll be caught back up. She's pissed that she's getting credit for all the things Doksha did. Yeah. That and making their suffering entertaining. Do you think the government can do anything to them? If they still have the ability to, like access all their abilities, like right now, then no. And there's no telling what, like a consulate, like if the government locked up an incarnation, what could their supporting constellation do something? I'm pretty sure, right? We've seen supporting constellations do a ton. So being like detained by their government, I feel like isn't something that would be far-fetched of them being able to escape. The fourth wall said, "Where am I?" Don't copy me. Doksha Kim thought to himself, I should pick this up. You idiot. After spending 4 days walking around heaps of garbage, you end up being so desperate for someone to talk to that even the fourth wall will do. In a way, it's a comfort that I'm not just talking to myself. I am sleepy. Hang in there. You talking makes it easier for me. Some of the absorbed stories are causing a configuration conflict. Darn. This isn't as easy as I'd hoped. The fragments of stories I'd obtained by using Lamarck's draft. The ruined heart of the young gold dragon. It's a cool name. And the right arm of the pitiful swordmaster. The first story fragment's original name was Ruined Heart of the Young Gold Dragon Who Was Torn Apart by the Otherworld God. However, the torn apart by the Otherworld God part wasn't absorbed. This is the advantage of Lamarck's draft. Okay, cool. Since Lamarckian inheritance isn't a widely accepted theory, it's not as effective in absorbing stories as other evolution type attributes. But on the other hand, it also doesn't absorb negative traits of stories. Gotcha. Your new physical incarnation is being formed. The creation of a new incarnation has delayed the destruction of your existence. This effect is only temporary, so you should return to a scenario as soon as possible. It's a bit chilly. Huh? Wait. I think it's a little warmer now. Someone is talking about you. Your story is being created on the planet Earth. Someone's talking about me? That's pretty cool. I wonder who. I doubt it's Hyung-Yuk. Could it be Hyung Sung? Or Hyun? Maybe Yusung? I've got no idea. It feels strange to know someone's talking about me somewhere. Lamarckian inheritance. The idea that an organism can pass on physical traits to its offspring that it acquired during its lifetime. Okay. It feels strange to know someone's talking about me somewhere, and that someone still remembers me. The story, the legend of Doksha Kim, was created on the planet Peaceland. I really wish they'd get my name right over there. Doksha Kim! Anyway, The first thing I've got to do is obtain the scenario of the demon realm. You're approaching a scenario area. Basically cartoon logic, yes. My boy's a sensation? The route I'm taking now is the same one Zhang took in his 111th round. As long as nothing unusual pops up, the plan will likely work. Speaking of, Zhang Yak's 111th round was quite eventful. I think that was around when the author of TWSA was in a slump. I'm not sure if it was because I gave some advice in the comments, but a new character suddenly appeared and the story's viewpoint changed. I know, cutie. I suppose I can't keep calling her Yusung once this hatches. What should I call her? This is interesting. I'm not sure if it was because I gave some advice in the comments, but a new character suddenly appeared and the story's viewpoint changed. Interesting. At this point, Doksha would have been the only person that was reading. That's a guess. That's a guess. At this point, Doksha would have been the only person that was reading. I'm assuming 111 rounds would be super deep into the series. Well, this series was dumb long. It would be deep enough into the series. No, I'm an idiot. No, it wouldn't. This is the 36th chapter. I'm bugging. There still would have been some people reading. I'm stupid. Well, no. No. I'm tripping myself up. I'm overthinking this. We don't know when in the course of TWSA Doksha's 111th round would have taken place. Doksha is currently taking the route of Zhang Yak's 111th round right now, but that's not to say that Doksha's 111th round would have been chapter 36 of the series, right? I'm pretty sure that's, we don't know when his 111th round would have been in conjunction to DWSA. I was like, I overthought this too much. I overthought it. I would believe the author would skip things that the viewer already saw. Like, I would imagine the author only showed when Zhang Yang made changes or things happened differently. I mean, I guess so. I think that's a good assumption. Why are we being treated like new gens? Doksha, fill us in. Who knows? Let me continue. But yeah, Doksha indirectly would have created, what's his face? A character. Alright. I suppose I can't keep calling her Yusung once this hatches. What should I call her? At that moment, Doksha heard a noise. Alright. What's that? Rustle. Something's rummaging around. What's that? Who are you? Oh, there's a ton. Whoa. Collection slaves. They take orders from those who govern the demon realm and collect story fragments to use as fuel from around the horizon. Is that a head in the bag? Is it a head in the bag? I didn't look. No, I did look at this, and my brain did not process it. I did look at this. Is this a head in the bag? I looked dead at this, and my brain, I was like, that looks like hair, and I just was like, and I just kept scrolling. Doksha Kim realized that if collection slaves were wandering about, an industrial complex should be nearby. Industrial complexes are like cities in the demon world. There's a plant that grinds up the broken story fragments with a residential area surrounding it. This looks like plates from Final Fantasy VII. Sector plates. Upper plates. If I recall correctly, the closest industrial complex should be Sischwitz? That sounds... Never mind. Get a move on. You're behind on fuel collection for the day. Is that the overseer? Seeing as he's with them, this must be a large-scale collection. Yo, got caught. Attribute Demon King candidate has been activated. That startled me. Oh, what? I want to stop. What? Please kill me. Kill me, please. It's a tag. This is what happened to those who have lost their story. They remember no one, and none remember them. Huh. Doksha Kim made a decision. He's gonna. I hope that killing it doesn't like get you caught, but I don't want this individual to be stuck like this. Landscape of the Demon Realm, Part 1, Chapter 37. Doksha took his place, okay. And it's not out of the ordinary because there was a human person that was there in the other panel. Next. Okay. I'll blend in with the collection slaves and enter the industrial complex. They don't inspect the slaves as thoroughly as other travelers. That's all. Your yield today is pathetic. Oh, damn. I can't get out of line? Damn. I can't get out of line? I want to go back. Let me go get some more stuff. Hey, you. Take this one with you. Take this one with you, too. Throw him in the fuel tank. That's the demon Baron Chechefin? Chechefin. I could kill him if I tried with all my might. Next. But if I got rid of the overseer myself, the Duke, who owns the industrial complex, would likely notice me. It'd be dangerous to face them now without a fully intact physical incarnation. This thing's ugly. Alright. Clatter. What's this? Oh, wow. You've actually brought quite a lot. You all need to take a page from his book. Got it? The yield's been much too inadequate recently. At this rate, you'll all be used for fuel. Good work, 6424. Go on in. That's crazy. He just waltzed his way in here. You have entered a scenario. That just blindsided me. What? That came out of nowhere. End of the chapter just came out of nowhere. It felt like we were about to get into something. We were about to really get into it. It felt like there should still be like a third of the chapter left. Dog, I feel blindsided. That wasn't cool. That wasn't cool at all. What the heck? All right. So, we have managed to swindle our way into the 73rd demon realm, where we are in search for a physical incarnation. Where we're in search for a physical incarnation, as well as finding a way back into the scenario. This was a part of the plan. Coming here was a part of Doksha's plan. We just didn't know. We were along for the ride. We sneak our way, and now we are getting inside of this industrial facility. This setup is crazy. This setup is crazy, man. Like, what is going to take place? How long is it going to take for his body to like finally like work together and get stronger? This is such an interesting turn of events. I never would have guessed that the story would be here. Never. I was stuck the last chapter, the last time we were together, of where the series is going to go. And for Doksha to be in the 73rd demon realm, trying to get his body back, in the midst of trying to come back to the scenarios. All in the meanwhile, we're getting to be alongside of the party that is still in the scenarios and see what everything is like after the domes. All right, you know what I just realized, even if Doksha makes his name known here, the Nebulas won't be able to do it because that would mean declaring war against the Demon Kings, I believe. Yes. I think he might go around as Young Yak once again for a while. I think it still has to be noted that the Starstream caught a glimpse of him and turned a blind eye to it. Seeing him hopping into the demon realm was just like, whatever. I think so. Doksha still is the 73rd Demon King, or I think I'm still unclear on that. Is he still the 73rd Demon King, or is he just now the Demon King of Salvation? I'm trying to think if like there's some weird, if there's gonna be some weird thing that he can do where he can claim this realm as his own. That's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering if that might happen in the process, because this realm currently does not have a Demon King residing over it. And one, Doksha doesn't want to, like, he can't stay here. I'm pretty sure he can't stay here. He doesn't want to. He wants to go back to the scenarios. But it would be something to be a Demon King that has his own realm and to go back to the scenarios as well. This is very difficult, though. It is very difficult. I think I'm glad that it's difficult. I'm glad it's difficult and we have to do so much to go back into the scenarios, because it adds to what Veda, Papyrus, and Olympus did. Like the stakes and all the issues and everything that they went through to put Doksha in a situation where he was going to die. It amplifies that more, how difficult it is for him right now and everything that he has to go through in order to come back. He has to do so much and he's almost died already in order to even have chances to get back into the scenarios. It just adds to what those Nebulas did wasn't necessarily for naught, even if he does come back. But man, like you're saying, Barry, he's now a Demon King and maybe could claim his own realm, possibly. Like that makes him such a bigger, it would make him a bigger target if once he gets back into the scenarios. But that would like establish him in a way that would, one, piss them off, and two, maybe give him more backing power so he just can't be messed with like that by other constellations in Nebula, possibly, depending on what's going to come from this whole get his incarnation back in this demon. Color me interested. This is very interesting. Very interesting. I have no idea. Like I guess spitball stuff, but to have like a concrete idea of what's happening, I don't. I do not. This does feel like the start of a really big arc, though. Like this feels like it's a feeling that it's hard to explain, but it's a feeling like that I get. If I'm being honest, it's been a minute since I've had this feeling, but it's a feeling I used to get whenever I would watch anime. I think I felt this way when I first started ReZero. I think I felt this way when I started Attack on Titan. There's like specific shows where it's like invoked this feeling, and it's hard for me to explain the feeling. I don't have the right words, but the feeling of this is like the beginning of something. And ReZero ended up being something like the direction that it ended up going was not what I thought. But it feels like being in like this big city and this new realm. It feels like Doksha's has been isekai'd again. But it's the feeling of like, I don't know. It's even like, it's the same way I felt getting out of high school on a Friday, because my high school used to be in the middle of downtown. Like my high school was in like a high-rise building before we moved into like a real school building. It was in like a high-rise. So Friday, downtown's bustling. walk out, you just look up, you feel the air. If there's an event happening, everything was crazy. It was like an energy that, it's a feeling that I've never gotten again. Like I still like reminisce on that feeling. I feel the same way right here. Like this panel gives me this feeling of like newness. It's open. There's I look back there and it feels like there's an entire adventure. There's a story back there. And we're gonna like embark on this journey through it. And I'm excited for that. Like I'm amped for that. I am. I'm very amped for it. It's a weird feeling. It's a weird feeling. It's something that few and far between it hits me. It's been a long time. This is the first time in a long time I felt that. I want to say the last time I felt it might have been ReZero. Like the first 2-ish, 3-ish episodes of ReZero gave me that feeling of like Subaru's in this new place. He's going around. He's discovering all these things. He's taking these different paths. He's like discovering new people and all this stuff. And then like once we like get away from the city for a lot of it, it kind of loses that. But I don't know, just something about this hit. It hits me and it's just like I'm really excited. I'm really excited. It's a weird feeling. It's hard for me to explain it. I struggle to explain it. Like a similar feeling. It's not the same feeling. It's a similar feeling. It's the same way I think of like doing content creation now, but then it feels like there was a magic when I first started, like back, and I feel this way about a lot of content creation now. Pandemic was terrible. It was horrible, but it was something special just about content creation in that time because everybody was at home, everybody was online, everyone's interacting with everything. Feels like everyone's around, all of that stuff, and it's just like this. I can't even, what's the right word that I can pull for this? I can't even think of the right word. I'm too tired. But it's just this, now it's a feeling of nostalgia when I think of like the beginning of the channel. But it's this feeling of like the unknown, but not in a scary way. It's just exciting. Just, I can sit down and just boom. It's like this excitement and this vigor to talk about and to do all these things. And now it's just become a part of my life. It's a routine. I go to work, I come home, I do this, and then I come down here and do this, and then I go back upstairs and I do more. Curiosity, maybe. Curiosity is not really the word. It's just, it's like the experience. It's like the experience of it. The feeling of it just feels different. Like it was special and unique at one point, and now it's like normal. It's just normal. But now it's different. It's not like what it used to be. Like it was like, I don't know, I think maybe it's because I shuffled stuff around and it is a part of my life now, and not being like the bright shiny thing. It's not the bright shiny thing anymore, I should say. And I've been trying to find a way to get the spark back. Failed every time, but I've been trying. It's a similar feeling, but this right here, I don't know, like I'm looking at this panel. It's this panel that really did it. Like it wasn't like all this was like cool, all this. It's this panel that did it. It feels like we're embarking on like a new journey, like a new adventure. It really does. Feels like we're embarking on a new adventure. No arc in this series has made me feel this way until right now. Maybe it's because I have not a clue what might happen next. Before, it's easy to brainstorm, come up with all these things. No, matter of fact, this feels like hate to pull it just because I brought up Final Fantasy VII before, but it feels like easier in OG FF7 and not like the remakes, because they're two different, like they're two actually different games. But in OG FF7, the beginning of the game, you're in Midgar, you're running through Midgar, you're doing all the Midgar stuff, and then you go into the open world, and it's a whole new game. It feels different. There's new areas to go to. There's all these new, like all of these. It feels like that. That's what this feels like right now. We've been stuck in the Soul Dome, and the Soul Dome was this cutthroat, ruthless thing that was so intense damn near all the time. And it's still intense, mind you, but it's getting to see the outside world, getting to see like the scenarios are going to continue, but we're not going to be relegated to the Soul Dome. Like, the world's your playground, unless they introduce some new thing that shows up in the next couple chapters or whatever. But like, the world's your playground now, and Doksha's like not in the Soul Dome anymore. He's been teleported to this new realm. All this stuff is new. These new things, we've never seen creatures like this before. Never seen architecture like this before. All this stuff, it's just like, it feels new. I have not the slightest clue of where we're going from here. Not the slightest clue. Like, I would love it, and this is just a me thing, because any game that I play, a lot of the series that I like, if there's a character that feels like they have some sort of inheritance, I'm always screaming, I want that character to go get their inheritance. I played Final Fantasy 16, and you play as Clive. And Clive's from a royal family. And for the whole game, I'm like, dog, now's going to be the arc when he goes back and takes back the duchy. Now's going to be this where he restores the duchy. He's going to restore the duchy. He's going to do this. You can go back and restore the duchy. You could rise it back up from the ashes. And that's just not where the story was going whatsoever. But I wanted it to happen so bad. So now we have Doksha, who was the 73rd Demon King. Don't know if he still technically is the 73rd Demon King, even though he was defeated. He still is a Demon King, right? Still is a Demon King. Now is in the 73rd Demon Realm. It feels like this is his. They went through the effort of telling us there's no Demon King residing over this realm. And we know that there was only supposed to be 72. But because the scenarios created a 73rd, now there's a 73rd Demon Realm. He is the 73rd Demon King. I want him to take it. That's about it. I want him to, I don't know how. We've made it abundantly clear we need to go back to a scenario. I don't know how him taking over the Demon Realm, residing over the Demon Realm, and going back to the scenarios work, but I want it to happen. I want it to happen. So that's where I am. That's where I am. That's about all I got. I am thoroughly excited for this arc, man. I really am. I'm thoroughly excited for this arc. Man, I'm excited. I can't wait for more. This is going to be a tough one to wait week for week. This is going to be tough to wait week for week. I'm super excited for this arc.